Well, the election bell has rung.
PNM, we go pee on them.
America is a shithole country.
The thing is, you already gave Kamala a chance, you gave Heath a chance. You might very well give Watson Duke a chance to let you down too. Hey folks, how do? Welcome once again to another episode of What You Go Do. It's your friendly neighborhood reminder that things are actually worse than you think they are, but not nearly as bad as they can be if we really put our backs into it. Well, the election bell has rung. Scratch that. The election gong has sounded. Here we are again, citizens of this cursed nation, being asked to put on our political jerseys and choose between manure and this. I know that's a bit crude, but you'd be amazed to discover that all videos online of a cow defecating elegantly in a picturesque pasture are watermarked. The point here is we are being served up, in the main, two equally unpalatable options with proven track records of disappointment and trophy-worthy failure. It's like eating a horrible doubles that made you absolutely detonate the water closet at work on Monday and then going back to the same doubles vendor on Tuesday because that's the only doubles person you know. Look, we've lived and breathed what both major political parties have to offer. They say they're selling us a brighter future, but the reality is something more like this. Can you guess which one is you, the voter? Let me give you a hint. You're the donkey. Bit of an Animal Farm theme going on with this episode, ain't? But that's who we are in this country. Some animals are more equal than others. But what a dang dang. And with just 1 month of campaigning, mudslinging, and the creative interpretations of the truth, the political parties had to crank up the election machinery. Campaign trucks making the rounds, people coming door to door. By the way, the election season is usually a cash cow for lots of folks. Media houses smack their lips hoping that a bounty of advertising from political parties could fatten up the newspapers a bit. And they could use it too. I've seen thicker publications from the fine folks who bring me the Watchtower. Incidentally, I'd sooner entertain Jehovah's Witnesses trying to push the latest Watchtower on me than candidates coming round to ask if I have any problems with mosquitoes. Crime has gone clear. The economy is in shambles. Jobs are more perishable than ripe fig on a bench in the savannah at noon. The country seems to have lost all sense of direction. But sure, let me hear you on the mosquito front. Let's hear about your 1 can of Big On per household policy. Your no-clogged drain left behind 1-point plan sounds particularly intriguing. Pour those sweet lies into my receptive ears. Now, there are just a few things to keep in mind when you see those candidates coming up to your crib waving their flags and t-shirts offering you $300 for your vote. Do the right thing. Go out in your gallery/yard/bra top and with your head held high, you tell them that $300 has to be adjusted for inflation. Nothing less than $600 will do for your vote on polling day. If they're going to make you their political prostitute, the least you could do is get as much cash up front, no? Seriously though, when those candidates come calling, you need to remember the guiding principles of political philosopher Dua Lipa. 1. Don't open the door. They'll only want to make you their political whore. 2. Don't let them in. They'll only want to give you that political spin. 3. Don't listen to them. You know you'll wake up with regret in the morning. And if you vote for them, you only get in bent over. Here's an inconvenient truth. Your vote is worth about as much as a 5-liter jar of circumcised foreskins. Go ahead, Google it after this. But that's no one's fault but your own. We vote for change, but we don't actually want to be part of that change. It's like a famous man once said, you want to protect the world, but you don't want it to change. So it's vote, cuss them, burn tires, carnival. Vote, cuss them, burn tires. Still, there are lots of people who look forward to the elections. It's like their entertainment, an outlet. It's a great way to have a bit of fun at the expense of others. Like this guy.
I'm not coming back in power. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm not coming back in. But so you said walk faster, walk faster, walk faster. Kamala coming back. PNM, we go pee on them. PNM, we go pee on them.
He knew exactly what he was doing. Calling the name Kamala in front of a group of PNM supporters is like waving a red flag in front of a raging bull. Speaking of raging bulls and red flags, there's the PM and Watson Duke of the Progressive Democratic Patriots. Although that name sounds like they started with the acronym first. Okay, I like the sound PDP. It sounds very electoral. What can we do with that? People done with PNM? No, not subtle. Protect the people? Too rootsy. Progressive, democratic patriots? We're going with that one. Print the jerseys. For his part, Dr. Rowley told Tobagonians in not so many words he will not forgive Tobago if they put God, also known as the PNM, by the way, out of their thoughts and vote for Watson Duke. Well, to be fair, I don't think Tobagonians will forgive themselves for voting Watson Duke. But the least of their troubles is worrying about staying in the Prime Minister's good graces. Although Tobagonians should consider the economic devastation that has ravaged the island over the past 5 years, the carefully orchestrated mashing up of the sea bridge and everything that followed. And that was when you and the PM was good. What you go do? Look, Watson Duke isn't exactly a polished political offering. But who is, really? Duke is flamboyant. Some might even say he's a buffoon who couldn't swim across a flooded South Key, far less across the And between Trinidad and Tobago. The thing is, you already gave Kamla a chance, you gave Keith a chance. You might very well give Watson Duke a chance to let you down too. Don't you wonder sometimes whether it's politicians holding us back from being all we can be, or are we holding ourselves back? Like this guy, for example. Now, not everyone thinks we've got it so bad here. At least one PNM candidate used his words to remind us all that as bad as you think you have it here, it's a lot worse elsewhere.
America is a shithole country. Right? Sorry to say that. Right? And we will have to make sure that we don't allow Americans to come in to trade. You know, all of them Americans who run, all Trinidadians who run into America, and you just send back all the barrels and so forth. Make sure that you tell them stay out of Trinidad for the rest of the year.
Ooh, that was a bold risk, my friend, and only for the sake of pulling a few laughs from a middling crowd. Antoine apologized almost immediately, but it was too late. The PM announced the swift beheading of his candidacy. After the Venezuela gas deal, this country came dangerously close to getting sanctioned back into the days of donkey cart transportation and flambeau nights. They weren't going to take any chances on this clown who doesn't understand diplomacy and the sacred rule that if you have nothing good to say about someone, make sure that someone doesn't hear it. You see, on the political platform, in the heat of the moment, any number could play. It's easy to get caught up and say something stupid.
We are as good as anybody, and the PNM party is the best party to take Trinidad and Tobago out of the morass and out of the nonsense and out of the stupidity that passes for governance in Trinidad and Tobago. Sorry, UNC.
That's the UNC's rep for Naparima, Rodney Charles. I heard after that slip of the tongue, they took him out behind the stage and they beat him like a dusty rug. No, that's not actually true. That didn't happen. But I'm a firm believer in speaking your wishes into reality. So while 6 of one and half a dozen of the other battle it out for the privilege of driving this country further into the ground, smaller political parties can't seem to catch a break. Many people laugh off these challenges as a waste of time, but a great source of deposit money for the state. Look, here's what I think, since you didn't ask. We curse Camilla and Keith like it's a national sport, but ridicule anyone who offers themselves for politics. We know what we don't want, but we definitely know what we don't want. At the risk of sounding a bit sexist, it's like picking up your wife, girlfriend, or outside thing who thinks she's the inside thing and asking her where she wants to go for dinner. After you drive around for an hour going through the entire list of places she doesn't want to go, where do you end up? Right at the very first restaurant on the list, Kentucky Fried Compromise. Come on, ladies, it stings because it's true, ain't? There are some smaller parties putting out really great, fresh ideas, but nah, better the devil you know than the devil you don't. You know, there's something people love to say when an election rolls around. When the dust settles and the winner is declared, we all have to live together in this country. But that isn't actually true. We are a nation of strangers, proud of our ignorance of each other. Somehow, we became convinced of some sort of rainbow national identity because we eat roti on Diwali, and on Emancipation Day, some folks throw on African garments to go to work. The truth is, we are separate, nations within a nation. Many people like it so. That's why our politics looks the way it does. That's precisely what creates the breed of politicians we have. Organisms designed specifically to breed and thrive in toxic environments. You know what I love about this place? We are both a simple society of simpletons and yet also complex. It is this dichotomy, this duality of being that makes life here always interesting. We're deeply divided along racial lines, but still, an Afro-Trini caterwauling what sounds like a Hindi song with Indo-Trini partners providing the bottle and spoon rhythm section. What this shows us is that for all that separates us, there are two things that bring us together like nothing else. Bottled lightning and a lot of free time. So what you gonna do?